Hey everybody, it is the best day of 2026, arguably. It is June the 9th. This is the big, beautiful Venus-Jupiter conjunction of the two great benefics. Venus is considered to be the lesser benefic, and Jupiter is the greater benefic. And when they come together, especially when Jupiter is in Cancer, which they do only once every 12 or 13 years, it's especially beneficial. So you want to look at where 26 degrees of Cancer is. It's actually 25 degrees and change, but we round it up in your natal chart because, of course, everyone will have a very specific, unique way that affects them. Okay, so in Cancer, it's the element of water. You might want to take a beautiful ritual bath and imagine and feel real emotional safety. This is really about regulating your nervous system, healing your inner child, feeling that you're safe, that you're family safe, your ancestors are safe. Those are all Cancerian fourth house issues, your roots, your foundation, and all of your future generations. So whatever you want to visualize, it's love. Venus rules love, beauty, harmony, the arts, creativity, and your values. And Jupiter represents going big and blessings and optimism and joy and happiness and adventure and learning and philosophy and mysticism and all of these great things. So you want to feel, Cancer is a feeling, water, emotions, that you've already accomplished all of these things and what it will feel like for you to accomplish, whether it's, love, or you want to create some philosophical issue, or you want to publish a book, or you want to get great acclaim, or you want to just feel totally whole and complete inside of yourself, which is the bottom line for everything. That's really more important than anything else. You want to feel whole, you want to feel safe, you want to feel at peace, you want to feel unconditionally loved. That is all what this is all about. So it's extremely beautiful. The famous French astrologer Adrienne Barbeau said that this is part of the great change in culture and history that's been happening since February 20th, 2026, when Saturn and Neptune came together. It's an unfolding series of events, good events, and this is part of it. So you can see the Sun at 19 Gemini there, opposite Lilith. Chiron is at the very powerful 29th degree of Aries, at the very last degree. It's very powerful. We're finishing up an 8-year cycle since Chiron entered Aries, the same as Uranus entered Taurus at that same time and is now already up at 2 degrees. Sorry, this police car is going by. Conjunct Ceres in Gemini. So there's 3 planets in air, Gemini, 3 planets in water, Cancer. There's still a lot of Aries energy here. The moon is in Aries today, just past Neptune when this happens. There's also, there's also Vesta. What happened there? View at full screen, sorry. There's also, there you go, you can see Neptune, the moon, Vesta. There's my cat Vesta in the corner there. There's Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and there's Saturn at 12 degrees of Aries, all sitting in the 6th house, which is the house of work, of service, and of health. So there's a big emphasis here on starting a new health picture or new jobs. Success is also about jobs, how you make money, what you harvest. So you want to think about what you're going to harvest through this big benefic day. Here, Mars is at 16 degrees of Taurus. Now, Mars is not strong in Taurus traditionally because it's in Venus's sign, but Mars is the passion to manifest. Taurus is manifestation. Mars is sextiling kind of widely Mercury here. Mercury's in Cancer, so our minds are connected to the emotions. Yeah, not much Earth here. The South Node here at 2 degrees of Virgo is actually aligning shortly as it moves backwards through the zodiac with the royal star Regulus. This is the star of kings. This is the lion-hearted star. And in Western tropical astrology, that star precessed, it moved into Virgo in around 2008, 2009, where it's going to be for the next 2,160 years, moving against that sign. The supergalactic center, I do like to do galactic astrology, is at 2 degrees of Libra. So Neptune's been sitting opposite that, which I think is really interesting in terms of Neptune about dreaming and the collective unconscious and really tuning into what that's like. How do we see ourselves in the really, really big pictures? Um, Pluto down there at 5 degrees already of Aquarius, conjunct to Vesta, with Juno, one of my favorite goddesses. The month of June is named for Juno. Her symbol looks like this 8-armed star with a little cross of matter underneath it. So she's kind of like Venus, but instead of being a circle, she has a star. Now, she is known for being the goddess of marriage and childbirth and money, and she has many, many different aspects, but her original meaning was as the feminine form of genius. Jupiter, his Roman name is Jove, and Juno is the Roman name of Hera. So really they are husband and wife, although that was a terrible patriarchal model because the original meaning of Juno, she was the great goddess, and the kings always married the great goddess because everything was matrilineal, of course, common sense. So, but he was always cheating on her and whatnot, and she was getting revenge. So that was a horrible model for, nuclear marriage, actually. And so we want to, blow that one up and go back to the original. But she brings this kind of sense of multitasking intelligence, feminine intuitive intelligence, like the 8-armed goddesses. I love her. So there she is in Aquarius, helping us to see things from multi-dimensions. Okay, now the North Node at 2 degrees of Pisces is connected to the Archangel Gabriel. It's a star called Fomalhaut in the mouth of the fishes. So we want to call on these angels because the north and south nodes of the moon are connected to there. And Uranus at 2 degrees is at what's called the bending. So it is in the middle, squaring those nodes. That's a very, very powerful thing. This is going to go on all month. They're actually at 2, and then Ceres is at 4. So Ceres, the great mother in Geminis, we're thinking about duality and how they're actually complementary opposites and what we're releasing in terms of maybe we're not digesting very well and the earth and old values and that sense of being the slaves. That's traditionally what Virgo was about, represented slavery. So this slavery to our work and to ideas and to perfection, that's going. And we're starting to, Uranus is kind of busting it. It's the symbol of, higher consciousness. And so it's bringing a higher consciousness into things as well. And the North Node in Pisces is about compassion, self-compassion, creativity, again, harmony, charity work. Okay, so you can see the aspects here. There's also a yod, or what's called a finger of God here from Neptune, the moon, the south node, and Pluto. This means that south node in Virgo is very important. What else can we talk about here? So really, there are some fixed stars, again, involved here. One called Procyon, connected to Venus and Jupiter there. So you want to use the colors, the gems. I'm going to finish up writing a blog about what are the appropriate gems and minerals, and Venus's metal is copper and Jupiter's metal is tin. So you might want to work with those two metals. Again, take a ritual bath where the colors, Venus's colors are green and blue, and of course with Cancer it would be pearls as well. Venus's stone is actually diamonds. Yes, diamonds are a girl's best friend. And Jupiter's stone would be amethyst because his color is royal purple, but also topaz, smoky quartz, turquoise. Those are Jupiter's gems. So we want to think about higher consciousness. Jupiter is the symbol of justice. Anything that begins with Ju is Jupiter. Justice, judges, expansion, international affairs. So it is actually very good for anybody who has planets around there. It's actually very good for Donald Trump, I have to say. I looked up his chart. Not so good for Israel. Not so good for Iran as well. Looked up those countries' charts. So, the squares there from all the Aries planets to Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury here, they're just a push, but you want to look at where this is coming in your natal chart. If you'd like to get a reading from me, you can get in touch with me at tarottarot.com. And I'm wishing you all the very best blessings of the day. I'm going to be doing ceremony and creating tinctures, which I will have available after to make the best advantage of this energy. All right, sending you blessings of the day.